Is going on, guys? Welcome to Outside the Brand. This is your Money in the Bank 2023 post show right here on Outside the Brand. I am Phil, of course, your host here for tonight's festivities. And guys, I got my guy TJ here with me, man. What is going on? Money in the Bank was honestly, yesterday afternoon, as of this recording. But guys, Money in the Bank was absolutely fantastic. How are you feeling after Money in the Bank went down last afternoon on Saturday?
Man, Money in the Bank was amazing, especially that main event. And I can't wait
Yes,
for it to talk about the main event because it had my heart
for
rate
sure.
going through the roof. But even the opening match, I was like, this is a great men's Money in the Bank ladder match. That
For
one
sure.
spot between Logan Paul and Ricochet, it was a
Yep.
great show. And I can't wait for us to get into it.
Awesome stuff, man. So yeah, honestly, I thought this was obviously a double thumbs up type of show for me. Um, both Money in the Bank ladder matches absolutely killed it. The men and the women who were selected in this match were absolutely the right decisions. A lot of things going into this, the buildup of everything when it comes to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match specifically. A lot of people were saying that there was not enough star power within this group of six, basically seven, when Logan Paul was added in. Um, I honestly did not believe that for a single second because at first, before Logan Paul was even introduced into the ladder match, and even still when he was, the Money in the Bank ladder match had the potential to bring the first ever world championship to anybody that was in this Money in the Bank ladder match. Nobody in this ladder match was a former world champion. And honestly, that's what I loved about it the most. The fact that there was going to be a chance for somebody to win their first ever world championship. That's amazing to me. And I think that's what honestly Triple H was going to go for when it comes to this Money in the Bank ladder match. And it absolutely succeeded expectations. And hats off. Hats off to everybody that was involved. Damian Priest, Ricochet, Shinsuke, LA Knight, Santos, Butch, and hell, not a lot of people might like him, but at the end of the day, you can't deny what Logan Paul does in that ring. All of them killed it in that Money in the Bank ladder match.
Oh, for sure. And man, that one lucky punch looks more brutal each time he hits it.
Oh yeah, yeah, every time, man. For sure. But how did you feel about that whole narrative going around that there was not enough star power within this thing, and that's why Logan Paul was added to the match to give it that star power that apparently it needed.
I absolutely hated that narrative because people clamor all the time for new stars. So when we give you
Right.
those new stars, you're now saying it's not enough star power, which in itself is a lie. Damian Priest, who puts on bangers, coming off of his match with Bad Bunny and at Backlash in Puerto Rico. Then you have Santos Escobar. He's obviously on the rise up, teaming up with a legend like Rey Mysterio. And Ricochet, the human highlight reel. And look at all the other people in the match. Butch, the former Pete Dunne. Were you forgetting he was one of the best UK champions around? Like,
Yeah.
the argument that there were no stars in this match is very fickle.
Yeah, yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And you didn't even mention LA Knight, who's been, on the rise. He was legitimately London's favorite in that match. I mean, he was basically a favorite, basically everybody but their mothers. But we'll talk about everything that happened in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. The women, listen, at the end of the day, this had a lot of star power in the women's Money in the Bank. I mean, let's talk about it real quick. We had Becky Lynch, we had Trish Stratus, we had IYO SKY, we had Bailey, we had Zoe Stark and Zelina Vega. I think I actually named all six without duplicating a name. And this was hellacious throughout the entire match. I mean, we saw that goddamn code red, that beautiful code red from Zelina. Uh, Off one of the ladders onto another. It was devastating. It was brutal. I legitimately winced at that spot considering I thought I saw I believe it was Zoe Stark that she did it too. It's like neck go through a goddamn rung of a ladder. I winced at that, but um obviously everybody was safe and it was all good in the end. And a right winner came out on top, man. How'd you feel about that women's Money in the Bank ladder match? Because I thought it was probably one of the best women's ladder matches that we've seen in quite some time.
Oh, for sure. Definitely a right winner came out. I love the finish of it also with Io handcuffing Becky and Bayley to each other was amazing.
That was awesome.
I like how there were times when it was like, Trish isn't going to win, but there were times it was like, okay, if she did win, how are we going to react to this? But honestly, I could not have asked for a better women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We had the spots, but everybody was still safe. We had the stories within it. We even had, when Bayley tipped the ladder over with Io on it, everyone was like, oh, shit. Oh, my God. And then for her to be smiling as Io held the briefcase, so it was like, okay, so a little feel-good moment. Maybe Damage CTRL isn't done just yet. Like I said, couldn't have asked for a better Money in the Bank ladder match. And also, the fact that, Io is currently the third longest, apparently, briefcase holder for the
already
Money in the Bank.
Already. Yeah. Considering we didn't even have a women's championship match that way. She couldn't cash in on the same night.
Exactly.
I don't know if that was by design or planned or whatever, but at the end of the day, finally we don't have a same day cash in for the women. And honestly, I want IYO SKY to be like that kind of a woman to either, just hold on to it as long as she possibly can to really get that right opportune time to get that cash in, because Lord knows we need it. I mean, we haven't seen somebody hold it for a long time since probably Carmella, and she held it for like a good 240 something days.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd have Io cash in at Mania. Have her be the first woman to cash in at Mania.
I personally just want Seth to have that, just for himself, but I could see the narrative of, having one male be the one to cash in at WrestleMania and also getting the one woman to do it as well. I could see that going down, but I just love Seth having that, perfect spot for himself. But yeah, I could totally see what you're coming from with that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
What do you call it? Who do you think she's going to go after, though? You think she's going to stick with being on Raw and go after... Or are they on SmackDown? They're on SmackDown, aren't they?
They're on SmackDown. They're on SmackDown. I think it's best to stay on SmackDown. I think everybody wants Io versus Asuka. I think everybody, is kind of craving Io versus Asuka. Nothing against Rhea Ripley and the way that she's been going about things as of late, but I think WWE, even with the quote unquote lackluster build that she has had since winning the Raw Women's I can't say the Raw Women's Championship anymore. The Women's World Championship. Since WrestleMania and everything like that, I still think WWE has a lot of stock within her. So I think Io and Asuka is the right call, and I don't know when that happens, but we could possibly see something happen at SummerSlam, even with the triple threat, looming between Charlotte and Bianca Belair.
Very true. Very true. Honestly, I would love that. I just, when Io cashes in, she needs to win it. I don't want it to be a failed one. And then once she does win it, I need Charlotte Flair to stay the fuck away from her.
Fair point too. Yeah, I can agree with you more there. This has to be a successful cash in for Io, because we all know that at the end of the day, IYO SKY is a goddamn superstar, and I think that's what really WWE was trying to hone in on when it comes to these Money in the Bank winners. I know a ton of people were really upset that LA Knight didn't win, but trust me, LA Knight is going to get his moment, whether really anybody wants to believe it or not. LA Knight's going to get his. He is going to get his, and I think it's going to be, a well-opportune time when he does get his. But Damian Priest, I take nothing away from him at all, considering all the stuff that he has been groomed for since coming up to the main roster. I mean, let's take a look at the last few months. Amazing match with Bad Bunny. Amazing World Heavyweight Championship match against Seth Rollins. And he was basically groomed to get to the spot known as Money in the Bank. I mean, you can't really deny anything that he has done over the last few months, man. Damian Priest is that guy right now.
Exactly. And I know, like you said, we all wanted LA Knight to win. And I thought he was going to until Damian popped that hand up there. And I was like, okay, if obviously it's not going to be LA Knight because you can tell there's like the match is about to be over.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, as long as it's anybody but Logan, I'll be happy. But when
True.
Damian pulled it down, I was like, oh, Judgment Day is about to be running shit for real.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I can't go over everything that happened in this Money in the Bank ladder match because there was just goddamn so many spots. I mean the frog splash from Logan Paul to Damian Priest on the ladder, that was fucking brutal. That ladder gave nothing, and then I saw KSI throw a goddamn prime bottle to the floor so that he can drink it to gain more energy. That was hilarious. That was KSI for those who don't know. That was insane. The ladder match spot, the ladder spot where LA Knight pushed over the ladder and Ricochet and Logan were supposed to do a Spanish fly off the ropes through the two tables that were on the outside. That was a little bit messy, but I'm not gonna, blame Logan Paul or Ricochet for that spot. They just got caught up in the ropes, man, and honestly, people mess up. Mistakes happen in pro wrestling. It's not the end of the world, but man, was that a bad fall. I really hope both of them are okay after that.
Yeah, when they executed the Spanish fly, I didn't even think they were getting it off. I thought they were falling. I was like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
And then they hit it. I was like, oh, thank God.
I'm surprised Logan Paul was okay. I mean, obviously Logan Paul at the end of the match, we saw that big gash on his shoulder. Maybe that was because of that spot. We don't know, but I'm just lucky none of them really got hurt in that sort of scenario. And due to the press conference that we saw right after Money in the Bank, there was an injury in that match, but it wasn't in the match itself. Apparently, somebody just rolled their ankle on the way back to the backstage area, which sucks. I mean, you just can't. That just, I mean, come on now. We don't know who it is because Triple H didn't want to reveal them because it was kind of an embarrassing kind of a spot. But at the end of the day, I'm glad nobody got injured in that men's Money in the Bank ladder match because there was a lot of spots where it could have happened.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. When Triple H said that, I really respected it. Like, all right, who is it? Yeah.
So yeah, I thought this men's Money in the Bank ladder match is absolutely insane. LA Knight climbs the ladder, and so does Butch, but LA Knight goes for a superplex, and Butch twists LA Knight's fingers, and LA Knight falls down to the floor below. Priest then climbs the ladder, and Priest with the right hand onto Butch, but Butch twists his hand, and Priest pushes Butch off the ladder onto another ladder, and that was positioned in the corner, which looked absolutely brutal. LA Knight then drags Priest down and throws him to the outside. In comes Escobar, and he gets hit with a BFT from LA Knight. Nakamura then tries to get involved, but he gets thrown to the outside of the ring, and nobody was in LA Knight's sight. So he climbs the ladder. He looks like he is about to grab the briefcase, but Priest comes out of nowhere, does a broken arrow off the ladder. LA Knight falls down to the ground, and Priest climbs up the ladder once again to secure the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he is now Mr. Money in the Bank, or Senor Money in the Bank is what he is now going to be liking to call himself. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff there. He was my number 2 to win this Money in the Bank ladder match all along, so Priest getting the job done. Great stuff there.
Honestly, I think they should go full Spanish with it and call him Señor Dinero en el Banco.
Hey, with Samantha Irvin, doing the announcing and everything like that, who knows? Maybe Damian's going to talk to Samantha and get that pronunciation done right to make it really well known.
During the match, Michael Cole is the reason why I just figured out the BFT stands for blunt force trauma. I was over here calling it the big fucking thing because like
big fucking thing.
Deal, so I was like, big fucking thing. That's got to be what it stands for. But I heard him go blunt force trauma, and I was like, oh, I'm a dumbass. Dumbass.
I already knew it was known as blunt force trauma because of NXT. But yeah, blunt force trauma. I honestly kind of love it. I think it's absolutely sick that that is known as blunt force trauma, and that was just an awesome way to shorten the name to BFT. But yeah, this is awesome. This was awesome stuff. Damian Priest, nothing but respect to you, my man. I mean, I've always liked you, since your days in NXT when you're a North American champion. When he was North American champion and he was just in the hot tub with all the women just having the title, I was like, yeah, this man's gonna be something. This man's gonna be something. And he's grown so much since then, and now he's Mr. Money in the Bank, and he could possibly be a world champion down the line. He definitely deserves it. He's deserving of a world championship run at some point. So this could be the springboard to that. I think TJ agrees. I think he's just muted. So awesome stuff there. Absolutely incredible ladder match. And yeah, we move on to the women's tag team championship match. And I have to say, for a 7-minute match, I guess it did what it needed to do. But I will say the turn, I don't even know what to call it. Do I call it a babyface turn? Do I call it a heel turn? I just felt like that Shayna Baszler turn on Ronda Rousey was completely out of place. I don't know. It just didn't feel like it was supposed to be for that night. It just felt so weird to me. That happened there.
Okay, there we go. It froze up for a second. I was like, okay, that's weird. But
sorry.
Yeah, that turn caught me off guard.
Yeah.
And I think I had the same reaction as Liv. Like, if you look at the replay of her face, she literally goes, what?
Yeah, no, she was completely shocked.
So that makes me wonder, did Triple H just tell Ronda and Shayna, like, hey, it's happening tonight. I'm not telling anyone else except for y'all. So, yeah, go do it. Because that'd be fucking amazing.
That could have happened. I mean,
I'd do it. If I was Triple H, I would have done it. I'd be like, I'm not telling the girl shit. I'm just telling Ronda and Shayna, do it. Do it.
Yeah, no. I would have done it in that way too. Because honestly, it was a very shocking revelation and moment to see, the very least, Now that was the reason why Raquel and Shayna, Raquel and Shayna. Imagine that tag team. Raquel and Liv won the tag team titles. Did you have these two winning the tag team championships? Because I didn't. I certainly didn't, mainly because of the fact that because they just unified the goddamn titles, I thought we were seeing a retention.
I actually did, but for different reasons. I thought this is just going to be the time it's like, okay, Shayna Turner was like plan B in my head. Plan A was somehow, some way, like Liv's going to get another sneaky roll up to win it.
Yeah.
But this was way better. Because now, all you Ronda lovers out there,
can you guys hear him?
It doesn't count. Shayna turned on Ronda. That's how Liv won. Nah. If you look at it, technically, Liv beat her clean because she beat her off of her finisher.
Yeah.
Ronda was still good until Raquel hit her with that what do they call it? The Tejano bomb now.
Yep.
The Tejano bomb. And then she got hit with that Oblivion. Hey, props to Ronda for how she sold it though.
I thought she sold it terribly. That looks so.
It looked bad. I know
that looks so sloppy to me.
It just she put her hands up too early.
She drove her head in way too hard. I was like, okay, listen, you did not need to do it that bad.
I like it better than how Shotzi sells it, because Shotzi the way Shotzi sells it, it looks like it's just a roll-up pin, and I hate it.
True.
And this is from someone who loves Shotzi. I hate the way she sells Oblivion.
Yeah, no. Shotzi's very hit or miss to me, but I could totally see where you're coming from when it comes to that. But
I guess I've never missed ya. I'm sorry, that just popped in my head.
But yeah, we got new women. Hey, that's very fair. But yeah, we got new women's tag team champions. What do you think is really going to happen with these titles, man? Because now they're unified. They're the undisputed unified tag team champions, whatever the hell they want to call them nowadays. Liv and Raquel are the kind of people that would want to go down to NXT to work with the other NXT women's tag teams that are, on that brand. Considering now that these women's tag team titles are back to what they, were originally, that they can go all across all three brands to be unified, or not unified, to be defended. How do you feel about all this, man? Because, I mean, there are actually, when you look at all three brands as a whole, there's actually quite a bit of tag teams that they can do, but, and I feel like that's the reason why they unified them in the first place. But if they're just going to stay on the main roster, I mean, there's not really much they can do with them,
See, I think they should treat it like a world tour, because you see how Liv and Raquel dress when they're together. They already look like they're celebrities. Treat this like a world tour, going across the brands, fighting different stars. And honestly, in a perfect world, I wish this was kind of like the territorial days. Imagine they go a legit world tour. I'm talking go into AEW to defend it, go to New Japan to defend it, Noah, Stardom, go to Impact, and really because not only would it put more eyes on tag divisions across companies and women's divisions, but it would also strengthen Raquel and Liv as a tag team. Because at first, when they were put together, I'll admit it, I didn't like it. But now, they are honestly one of my favorite tag teams around, one of my favorite women's tag teams.
I agree to that, for sure. The only thing that I have a problem with when it comes to Raquel being back in a tag team with Liv Morgan, and it's nothing against Liv at all. You guys know, we all love Liv Morgan here, and we all are very fond of Raquel Rodriguez. But at the end of the day, Raquel was legitimately just looking at Rhea Ripley 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw in that Women's World Championship. And now she's a women's tag team champion. So did WWE just completely scrap whatever they were going to try to do with Raquel and Rhea? Or are we just going to have a short-term reign with these two as tag team champions, and then whenever they want to get back onto that train with Raquel and Rhea, then we could get back into that? I personally, if you want me to even say what I think could possibly happen, I think Raquel's winning the Rumble.
See,
and we get Raquel and Rhea.
Say the same thing.
I think Raquel and Rhea happen at WrestleMania, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I was going to say have Liv and Raquel hold the titles till SummerSlam time, and then you can just gradually split them up or turn Raquel heel, whatever you want to do. Personally, I wouldn't. Have them split up, and then Raquel can build her way up, build up that drive behind her, and then have her win the Rumble, and then go after Rhea.
Yeah. Because that stare down meant something. I mean, Triple H doesn't do these stare downs and just never pay them off. So I think we
still are owed Bianca and Rhea. He owes us so much.
Yeah, that happened during the build of War Games last year in November. So dude, that needs to be paid off too, at some point.
What was the War Games match? I forgot already.
It was November, bro. I can't even remember.
I
know it was good. One? I know it was good, but did
we have a women's War Games match?
Go. Last year in November? Yeah.
Huh. I know Damage Control had to be in. I think it was Damage Control and Rhea versus Becky, Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa.
I'm gonna look it up right now because
that's now, thinking of the rivalry. That's the only viable teams I could think of.
So it was Team Bianca Belair versus Team Damage Control. It was Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and Becky Lynch versus Bayley, Io, Dakota, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley.
Okay, so I was missing Nikki Cross and Mia Yim. Okay. Yeah, they should have just done the 4-on-4. Nikki Cross and Mia didn't need to be in that. They did not need to be in that.
Yeah, man. I think that's what we're probably going to be going for. I think I see Raquel winning the Rumble, and then we have Raquel and Rhea at WrestleMania 40 for the Women's World Championship, and I think that makes the most sense there. Does Raquel need a heel turn to possibly be able to do something like that? No, I really don't think so, because everybody likes Raquel regardless, and everybody likes Rhea regardless. So it's like if you really do any type of heel or babyface type of dynamic, I mean, Rhea's gonna get that heel heat no matter what because of Mommy and Dominik Mysterio. So that's the thing there. And then Raquel, everybody loves Raquel. So I don't know if a babyface heel type of dynamic for her would be, kind of necessary. But I can see where people want a heel turn for Rhea or for Raquel. Not gonna lie there. So yeah, he's gonna refresh his page real quick, and then he'll be right back. So I'm just gonna switch it to the one cam for now until he gets back in. But yeah, never mind. He's right back. So there we go.
There we go. My camera was frozen, so it's finally fixed now. So there we go.
Okay. So yeah, Raquel and Rhea, possible WrestleMania 40 match between those two for the Women's World Championship. I'm not against it. That's probably going to be where they're going with that, because like I said, they don't do those types of stare downs and no payoff. Usually there's a payoff at the end of that. So we'll see. Nothing to be too ashamed of right now. So, Shayna, at this point in time, Shayna already turned on Ronda Rousey at this point. So Shayna gets Ronda with the Kirifuda clutch in the middle of the ring. The fans and LIBVE are just, in disbelief. They're just fucking shocked at this point because, nobody really expected a turn like that during this match. And because of that, Raquel tagged in, and she tags LIBVE back in to do the Tahana bomb, and then LIBVE hit the Oblivion on Ronda, and she pinned Ronda once again. For all you LIBVE haters out there, she pinned Ronda again to win those tag team championships. So we have new women's tag team champions, and that is what happened during the match. Now, I have to say, all you LIBVE haters are going to hate this segment real quick. LIBVE, you look good. Last night, you looked great. You looked
the
great.
Fucking videos I saw, that the ginger spice gear had her extra caked up, and I am so appreciative of it.
Great.
Yeah, just like Booker, looking good.
Looking good. But yeah, this was awesome. Seeing new women's tag team champions. I'm glad they got the women's championships back, and they got the titles back that they never lost really in the first place. So good stuff there. Kayla Braxton is backstage with Damian Priest as she introduces him as the new Mr. Money in the Bank, and he said, "Well, listen, honey, I'm gonna have to be called Senor Money in the Bank from now on." She's like, "Okay, Senor Money in the Bank, I like it." He tells her that he can cash in and become United States champion, World Heavyweight champion, the undisputed champion, the Intercontinental champion. Whatever one I decide to go for, all I know is that I will be a champion. Please don't cash in for any of the mid-card titles. Please.
I hate that shit.
I don't do that. Listen, I love you, Priest. You're a world champion material type of guy. Please do it for a world championship. I highly doubt you're going to cash in on Roman, and that's the reason why the World Heavyweight Championship now exists on Monday Night Raw. So if anything, it'll probably be for the World Heavyweight Championship, and honestly, nobody can really discredit that, because if we get Damian and Seth again, I'm not mad at it.
Oh yeah, for sure, because their match was, first of all, how do we get that for free? How?
Yeah, on Monday Night Raw in the Open Challenge, and it was fantastic. So
amazing. Imagine all those lucky bitches that got to see it live and in person. And
that was the Raw in Hartford, wasn't it? I was planning to go to that show, but you know, work and everything like that was not going to allow me to get there in time, because I end work at 6, and I was not going to be able to get there for 8, especially because of traffic. God dang, Hartford is.
How far is Hartford from you?
From Waterbury, it would have been at least an hour drive, and you know, it would have, like, I usually get out at like 6:30, so it would have been an hour with the traffic. If it wasn't for traffic, it probably would have gotten me like 35, 45 minutes, depending. But
okay.
With traffic, it would have definitely been like in the hour.
Oh, so that's like from me to Houston. Okay.
Yeah. So it would have definitely been close. I'll say that. And the last minute ticket prices were absolutely outrageous. I mean, there was like nosebleed seats for like $200. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm sorry, but no. So I was like, yeah, no, that's probably not happening. But regardless, Damian Priest being Mr. Money in the Bank, or Senor Money in the Bank, gonna be awesome, and I can't wait to see what happens when it comes to that. So the Intercontinental Championship match was next. Gunther versus Matt Riddle. This was a short match, but it did what it needed to do. It was Gunther versus a wounded Matt Riddle with the injured ankle. Nothing really. I didn't really expect. I expected actually a lot going into this match, considering these two type of caliber superstars. But then they brought in the whole injured ankle aspect, and that's when I kind of knew. I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna be doing that kind of a thing. But even without the injured ankle, I mean, Gunther was winning this. Gunther was retaining this title regardless.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was doubting that, because I love Matt Riddle, but we didn't. Matt Riddle really ending the reign. Come on. I will say this: I was expecting Randy to come out, but it didn't happen. So then I was like, okay, well, I guess this is just it. And then I was fucking wrong, like a motherfucker, thinking that the match was just going to be over and move on.
No, man. Drew McIntyre made his fucking return to the company, made his return to WWE since his WrestleMania match in the match between Sheamus and Gunther for the IC title. And dude, it looks like Drew McIntyre is in position to possibly take that championship off of Gunther. The reason why he came back in the first place is because of this. I'm telling you right now. There were a lot of rumors and speculation going around that Drew McIntyre's contract with WWE was almost out. Now, Triple H in the press conference said that, you know, if there was any heat between Creative and Drew McIntyre, that's the first time I'm hearing it. Sometimes, you know, he would just be calling me, and we just laugh at these, you know, reports that are coming out, because these were just completely false. And I love how he actually calls him out on that shit in front of their faces too in the press conference, like it's like nothing.
He's like, yeah, you bitches. Let's see what y'all be tweeting.
But how do you feel about this, man? I mean, Drew McIntyre being groomed to be the one to defeat Gunther for the IC title. I mean, I'm not mad at it, you know, at all. I love Drew McIntyre, and if you lost Drew McIntyre, if WWE lost Drew McIntyre, that's a huge blow to the company.
Very much.
And the morale of the locker room.
Yeah, you would have to If WWE would have lost Drew McIntyre, you would literally, at that point, reevaluate who's in your talent relations group. Because how are you letting someone like Drew McIntyre walk? That's like,
Right.
and people are gonna be mad at me, but this will be like a 2000, let's say 2009, Randy Orton saying, I'm gone," and Vince being like, "All right, pal, best of luck." Look, what? No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm ready for it. How dare you compare Drew to Randy, bitch? Fuck you. That's how.
But I could possibly be seeing this match happen at SummerSlam. Drew versus Gunther for the IC title at SummerSlam. I think that could possibly be the thing that we're going for right now. At that point in time, and I've done all the calculations and everything like that, Gunther would be at day 420 at SummerSlam on August 5th. Now,
he doesn't beat the record till September, though.
He doesn't beat the record until sometime in September. So 454 days is what everybody's trying to strive for, or basically 455, so that Gunther can beat Honky Tonk's record.
So I'm assuming
if he
Clash
lost
of
the
the
Intercontinental
Castles happened
Championship,
again,
let's
right?
say at SummerSlam. So let's slow down real quick. So if he lost at SummerSlam, he would be the third longest Intercontinental Champion reign of all time at 420, because Pedro is at 424, and then it's Macho Man at 454. So the next pay-per-views that we have are SummerSlam on August 5th. We got Payback in September. Then in October, we have Fastlane. Then November is Survivor Series, obviously, but we don't know the December. And then obviously January is the Rumble. So as of right now, we don't have Clash at the Castle.
Wow.
That's probably where I do it. But, it's either at Payback or Fastlane, because Fastlane is the one in October now, which is so weird, because usually Fastlane was in like March of like the last time that we've seen it. But yeah, those are the next few pay-per-views that we got. So I don't think you would have Gunther lose it when he would be at 420, and the next reign, which is Pedro Morales, is at 424. That's only 4 days away. You wouldn't just have him be the third longest reigning IC champ of all time. If anything, you would definitely take him to number 2. But is number 2 good enough?
No. Honestly, is there a date for Payback yet, or is it just September?
As of right now, I can take a look real quick. So, okay, so from what I can tell, we got the Great American Bash on July 30th, SummerSlam on August 5th, and then Payback is September 2nd. So
he doesn't break it till the 5th, though, right?
He doesn't break it technically until the 5th. So if anything, he could possibly lose it at Fastlane on October 7th, which would totally be the record at that point. But yeah, that's really the only place I could see it happening, even though I thought it really would have been Clash again, because it would have been a great time.
So
to
then,
do it in the UK
if Drew
again.
doesn't do it, who's gonna take it?
I don't know. I really don't know. My dream would be somebody like a Johnny Gargano. I mean, I would freaking love that, because Johnny Gargano, he is absolutely incredible, and I think he and Gunther would do amazing things in that ring if they got enough time for it. Because the whole underdog thing that Gargano loves to do, especially against bigger opponents. Hell, not even really against bigger opponents. I mean, we've seen the things that he's done with Ciampa or Cole or Andrade and everything like that with his kind of style. I would personally love it if it was Gargano, but honestly, at that point, I really don't know who it would be. I'm stumped. I'm stumped between Drew McIntyre and him. I don't know. If Ilya Dragunov got caught up, maybe.
Thing is, do we call up Ilya and have him run the clinic before Drew? Or do you just start the Drew one now?
I mean, I think they're really gonna start the Drew one now. I think we're getting Drew and Gunther at SummerSlam. I think that's what they're setting up. Because he wouldn't have been holding the IC title right there. It was so close to SummerSlam, you know? I don't know. It's definitely an interesting, scenario here. But Gunther, to me, regardless, like listen, he doesn't even have to have the fucking record. He's already the greatest Intercontinental champion to me of all time. He is.
True.
He's brought
honestly,
who the fuck, much prestige.
Who the fuck talks about Honky Tonk Man? Who the fuck says, man, you know which reign I love? Honky Tonk Man. I think I loved him as Intercontinental champion. No, fuck no.
And I'm sorry, y'all. And I know that this is, probably going to upset the Miz fans out there. But Miz is like a distant two to me when it comes to the Intercontinental Championship reigns. Especially when it comes to this Gunther reign right now. It's Gunther and Miz.
Yeah.
They're really the top two for me. And
I know y'all Jericho fans are mad right
and
now,
obviously
though.
my era of pro wrestling. I listen, he's doing his thing in AEW, and honestly, a lot of people are still even having issues with that. So, listen, Gunther, he's doing amazing things with this IC title. This IC title is not what's better since him holding this goddamn thing, and it's absolutely an amazing thing to see. So, Gunther grabs Riddle, but Riddle, with a knee to the face, a kick to the face by Riddle, and then he climbs to the top rope. Riddle does a floating bro off the top rope, and he goes for the cover, and Gunther kicks out. Riddle then grabs Gunther, but Gunther with a massive chop to the chest, and Gunther climbs to the top rope and goes for a splash, but Riddle catches him into a triangle, which was awesome. The catching into a triangle spot was fantastic by Riddle. Gunther then lifts Riddle up and slams him down to the mat below, and then he does a half crab on the injured ankle. And I loved what Wade Barrett said on commentary, saying normally this is for, the whole leg, but trust me, you can torque that ankle in many more ways than one when you're at least in a half crab. So, doing the lower back and the leg area, that's really what it's meant for. But you can still crank that ankle and make it hurt while you're in a half crab sort of submission. So,
Gunther was cranking that shit like he was cranking that Soldier Boy. He was cranking that shit.
So good job there, Barrett, for at least clarifying something like that, because it really is meant for like the lower back and everything like that, but you can still crank that ankle.
Exactly.
And
you just gotta be technical
Riddle
with it.
Yeah, so Riddle then turns that around and kicks him away. Gunther then chops Riddle's he chops his foot, Riddle's foot, which, I mean, listen, the chop to the goddamn chest hurts. So when you're chopping an injured foot, dude, you're done. You're done. Gunther then does he does a submission to the left leg. He does some sort of like knee bar with an ankle torquing type of situation again, and that's what made Riddle tap out. We rarely see a submission victory for Gunther, but with the injured ankle, it makes sense to have a submission victory here. So, good stuff.
Very much so. I think I literally was quite stunned. I was like, oh, Riddle tapped out. I was like, okay. I don't know many other times when he tapped out, but I was like, wow.
Yeah, so good stuff there. Gunther's on a warpath with this Intercontinental Championship, and I don't really see it ending anytime soon, unless it does happen at SummerSlam and Drew McIntyre does defeat him. I wouldn't be mad at it, but a lot of people want to see Gunther overtake Honky Tonk at 454, and we'll see where it goes. But either way, I won't be mad at the outcome.
Because yeah, let's be honest. Like we said, nobody gives a fuck about the Honky Tonk Man's record. We're all going to consider Gunther the greatest of all time when it comes to IC title reigns.
The fact that Gunther would be in top 3 is amazing enough as it is.
Exactly.
The fact that Gunther is in top 3 is amazing enough as it is. So it would be awesome to see it regardless. Then we had Cody and Dom. And I'm not going to lie. This match was like 8-9 minutes. Not much could have been done. I know the whole story about this whole match is that, you know, Dominik was scared of Cody and all that kind of stuff. That's why the whole cheap shots happened with the slapping and, you know, the cheap shot punches and all that kind of stuff. But come on. I honestly really didn't care about this. I really didn't care about the feud to begin with. And then, you know, this type of a match. Did this do wonders when it comes to Dominik's heel heat working with somebody like Cody? Yes. But did it really need to happen? Was it really necessary? To me, no. This did not really do anything for Cody at all. Even with a win over Dominik. And then Dom, he got good heel heat. But that is because you're working with the second biggest babyface in all the company. I don't know about you, man, but this just wasn't it for me.
Yeah, especially, and I love Cody, but it really wasn't it because Dom should have got the win here. There should have been a Brock interference and let Dom win. Because otherwise, what was the point of the match?
In the back of my head, I knew Brock was not going to be showing up in London because we all know Brock is all about that sweet Saudi money, not about the English money. He's not all about the pounds. He just loves the sweet Saudi money there.
See, you could have still at least flashed Brock's theme song, distract Cody, have Dom win, and then be like, "Oh, it was Rhea or Judgment Day that did it." Yeah.
You know, like if they did the whole Brock music, you know, distracting of Cody Rhodes and all of a sudden Dom like got a roll of victory, let's say, then people will be complaining. It's like, oh my god, you know, the dumb babyface type of syndrome that that WWE loves to do with these type of superstars. I mean, yes, you know, the dumb babyface syndrome is a thing when it comes to, you know, music being a distraction for somebody, but this did nothing. This did nothing to really enhance anybody. Yes, Dominik is a good heel. We all know this. But it didn't really totally improve anything. And this was all just filler anyway to get to SummerSlam because I know we're going to get Brock and Cody 3 at SummerSlam again.
Yep.
That's all this was. This was filler.
Like I said, I ain't mad at it. Just should have had a better way to end this match.
So, Cody won. You know, this wasn't really anything too spectacular. I mean, how do you feel about Dominik's improvement since being away from his father? Because obviously you can tell that this kid is trying to train his ass off to get better in the ring, but this match really didn't prove anything to the point it's like, oh yeah, he's trying to improve and he's trying to get out of his father's shadow. They didn't really have enough time in order to, you know, show what both of them got against each other. So how do you feel about Dominik's improvement inside the ring, as well as, you know, him just being a character away from his father?
I think it's improved a lot. I'll love once he gets rid of the whole deadbeat dad thing, because After a while, yeah.
He's calling everybody a deadbeat dad now. Apparently, you're a deadbeat dad, according to Dominik. It's just wild.
Hey,
you don't even have kids.
I mean, he might not be wrong. I don't know. He might not be wrong.
hey, listen. But yeah, you think he's been doing okay since getting out of everything?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, you're back.
Oh, no. There we go.
You're freezing on my screen. There you go.
So much is happening. Okay, there we go. I was like,
Okay.
what is going on?
You're back.
Yeah. Okay, bet.
You're back on my side. So you think Dom's okay? You think Dom's okay for right now, at least when it comes to his progression since being away from his father?
Yeah, for sure. It'll take. I think. I think
Okay.
give him. I'll say like a month, and he'll improve on his promos too.
Yeah. Cause, listen, I like Dom, but if there was a chance for just Mommy to just talk to him and he could just be the guy that just be that chicken shit type heel in the ring, let him do that. Because he needs to improve on the mic for sure, but honestly, I'm not gonna totally flank him on that either, because sometimes WWE writers and the promos that they do just suck, and it just comes out robotic or just totally unorganic, and it's just not. It just doesn't fit them at times. But regardless, it is what it is, and Cody got the win here with he hits an Alabama slam after doing some spins with Dominik on his back. After that, he does a Cody cutter from the second rope, and then Dominik got up, hit a crossroads. Well, Cody hit a crossroads on Dom, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. So Cody won in London, and it was what it was. But okay, I will say this: the match wasn't much, but the crowd killed it.
Crowd was amazing.
The crowd was killing it all night,
amazing.
really. But the crowd really made this match because they were chanting "Dom's a wanker." They were just singing Cody Rhodes' theme song the entire match. They were just chanting for Mommy at one point. I mean, the whole crowd made the match for sure.
Yes, they're amazing. I love foreign crowds.
So this was it was a match for what it was, and it did what it needed to do. Then out of nowhere, we hear trumpets, and it's fucking John Cena. Like bro,
what the fuck, what? Man? What the fuck?
Like what? I had no idea. There was no indication. There was no reports. There was just nothing coming out that day about a possible John Cena sighting in London whatsoever.
Like, how did he get past everyone? And then he did the fucking meme.
Dude, like, I was so happy. Like, I was so happy. And the thing is, that's what I love about pro wrestling, man. I don't have to know everything. This was really like me being a kid again, and like seeing somebody return for like the first time in years, even though it really wasn't in years. I mean, we just saw him at Mania. So
yeah.
This was awesome. This was just so special. This was so special. So I loved it. So Cena was out here. He makes his way to the ring, and the crowd is singing Cena's song, which is, just that, that never happens. Let's be real. That usually never happens. It's
Yeah,
either let's go
not at
Cena,
all.
Cena sucks, and he legitimately said that in his promo. It's like, you guys are shocking me right now because you're legitimately singing my song, and it's usually let's go Cena, Cena sucks, and the crowd booed when Cena was saying that. He's like, no, that's usually what happens, guys. Trust me. But Cena says that this is the first premium live event in London in over 20 years, which is mind-blowing to everybody at this point. He says that he looks around, hears all the noise, and feels the energy, and he asked what the hell took them so long to come back here. He says it's not up to him, it's up to the decision makers, and they don't know how to feel about London as the fans continue to boo. And he said, like, sometimes you guys apparently could be a hostile environment. You guys love to be a distraction. You guys love to take over the show. The fans react to everything he is saying at this point, and it's just an amazing thing to see. Cena says that they are the voice, the heartbeat of what makes this so special, and they take over the show because they are the show. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Usually, the fans outside the U.S. are what makes these shows so special. When they go outside of the United States, it's awesome. I love crowds like this, man. I wish United States crowds were like this more.
They're lame. And I don't know why, but they're just lame. We're not gonna react to anything. We're just gonna sit here and watch. It's like, bro, you're watching a banger in front of you. Fucking react.
Connecticut comes, WWE comes to Connecticut 2 times a year, which is mind blowing to me considering the goddamn headquarters is here. Why don't we get more crowd reactions?
Right? Like, y'all can literally
Why
go
not?
down the street and be like, hey, Vince.
But then he asked why he is here. Cena says that he is there on behalf of the WWE fans. He says that he wants the world to know that they are unappreciated, and Cena says that he has all respect to us. And in over 20 years of his experience, we have earned his respect. The fans chant, "Thank you, Cena," and he says that they don't like it when they stop to allow the fans to just, cheer and have fun with it all. But that's what we love about this business. Cena says they cheer, they chant, they care. In his mind, that's what makes this more exciting, because they are the audience of the United Kingdom. Cena says that he is there to try to bring WrestleMania to London, and the crowd fucking erupted. WrestleMania in London would be absolutely insane. The spectacle of it all, plus the London crowd, dude. I don't even know how I would be able to even contain myself. Seriously.
Whenever it does happen, I don't know how, but I'm gonna try to be there. I'm going to try to be there.
I have to. I have to try. I have to try. Like dude,
The only way I wouldn't
and the thing
is if they announced the Houston one beforehand.
Okay. I feel like Cena was here though, and he brought up WrestleMania in London because it's coming. At some point, it has to come, right? They wouldn't just be, teasing it in London if they weren't at least even thinking about it. You know? If they just said, oh yeah, Cena, you're going to go out there, you're going to talk about WrestleMania in London and just never fucking do it, then they're just cold-hearted human beings and people. But it has to happen, right? I mean, come on now.
It has to. If it doesn't, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck did we do to y'all to make y'all hate us like this?"
What did you? What did we do? So listen, I'll find my way to be there, man. I'll find my way. I just
Yep.
got to. We know some people in the UK. We know some people. Okay, we have
We'll find
connections
somebody.
there enough as it is. So hopefully, we'd be able to, find somebody. So he says that he struck a nerve on that one. He is not there for one more match, but because when they play those trumpets, people watch and listen. And he wants to give somebody or something to the audience that he loves and a chance to tell the world that the people who make decisions what they already know. He tells them to let them hear what WrestleMania would sound like in London. And again, the crowd just erupts. And then out comes Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller.
Waller is here. And then the fans chant, "Who are you?" Which was just cold. Cold. But, it was awesome. He says he loves everything about Cena. The jorts, he loves them. The movies, he's loved every single one of them. And then the fans chant, "Shut the fuck up." Grayson gets in the ring and says what he loves most about Cena is the whole hustle, loyalty, and respect thing, which is why he's kind of disappointed in Cena, because he's just lying to all these people. Grayson asks WrestleMania in England, "You have to be kidding me." And then he laughs. He says that the people cheer for the people that they are supposed to not like and boo for the people that they are supposed to like. They're just cold-hearted human beings. Not only that, but it's cold. It's been raining. I've had to wear a hoodie everywhere. And, if WrestleMania needs to go overseas, it doesn't need to be here in England. It should be over where it's somewhere beautiful. It should be over somewhere where it's always sunny and the weather's nice and they have good beaches and the women are absolutely beautiful and magnificent. It should be in Australia. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. In Australia, WrestleMania would go hard. That would be insane.
I'm gonna be honest. He didn't really tell a lie. The beaches look good.
He really didn't.
It's sunny all the time, and boy, them women, them Australian women, just look at Rhea Ripley and the Iconics, boy. Whoo.
I would love it if they went to Australia. It would be, it would definitely be a change for sure. What's even Australia's time difference? Because damn, that would be wild.
I think they are on, I want to say, a 7-hour difference.
All right, let me Australia time. Let's see. It is 9:58 right now in the morning. So it's Monday, July 3rd at 9:58 a.m. So
Did you say it's 9:58?
9:58 a.m. Monday morning.
That is a 15-hour time difference. They are 15 hours ahead of us. Meaning, if they did a WrestleMania and it started regular time for us, which would be in 2 minutes, they would have WrestleMania starting at 10 a.m. Imagine that. What are you doing today? Oh, mate, I'm going to wake up, get me a bite to eat, go see WrestleMania, go watch Grayson fucking Waller, and then I'll probably go play with the emus out there and the kangaroos.
So sorry for all your Australian people out there if that was offensive. But okay, so if it started at 8 here and it's Monday morning there, let's say if they did 8 p.m. Australian time, with that being the difference, that would be 10 a. That would be
For us, for me, it
no,
would be
wouldn't
5
10
p.m.
for us.
That'd be 6 p.m. for you. Wait, no, 15 hours ahead.
Well,
It'd be
well then
3 p.m. for you. Wait, no, 3
there's
a.m.
another afternoon.
It'd be
Oh
3
God,
a.m. for
no.
you. It would be
Listen,
2 a.m. for me. It would be another Wrestle Kingdom for us, Phil. It would be another fucking Wrestle Kingdom.
All right. Well, then they'd have to switch it. They'd have to go 8 p.m. our time. Please,
Yeah. Y'all can wake up.
So that
Y'all can wake up at 8 a.m., get showered, get breakfast, and watch WrestleMania. Then again, if they wanted to watch, they'd have to be lined up outside at like 2 a.m.
Dude, listen, it would be awesome to see a WrestleMania in Australia for sure, but the time difference would definitely be a hindrance for honestly everybody. And I say everybody because especially, I mean, we all know everybody from like different time zones within Wrestle Talk. It would be a hassle to try to get everybody some point somewhere. But yeah, that's interesting. A 15-hour time difference. That's just insane. So it would be cool, but is it, time-wise, is it something that is kind of possible? Maybe not. Because if anything, because if it's ain't, because they're in the future right now. It's Monday for them right now. It's Monday morning, so WrestleMania is Saturday for them. Wouldn't that technically WrestleMania Friday for us? Like, dude, they'd have to change everything. I can't hear TJ if he's supposed to be talking.
Yeah, I was sorry, I was doing the math in my head. Yeah, I think they would have to do SmackDown on Thursday for us, or no, it'd just be it would still be Friday for us, just 3 fucking a.m. Friday. It's just like I think that's one of the reasons why they've been like, nah, fuck the foreign locations when it comes to WrestleMania. I ain't got time for that bullshit, man. You stick it to America, maybe Canada.
Like every pay-per-view so far within WWE has been outside the United States. The first pay-per-view that's going to be inside the United States for us is Detroit, SummerSlam. So every other time it's been an afternoon pay-per-view. Every pay-per-view has been an afternoon pay-per-view for us, except for
that's also
Detroit, which will be at 8 p.m.
Because the locations they've gone to have relatively close time zone differences. Because London is a 6-hour ahead difference from us. Well, from you, 5 hour. For me, it's 6 hour. For whatchamacallit, Puerto Rico, I'm pretty sure they're like an hour ahead, maybe. Because I think they work on not Eastern time zone, but they call it Atlantic time zone. They just stick with Atlantic Ocean time zone, I believe.
Yeah. Well, no, Puerto Rico, I just looked it up right now. It's Sunday, June 2nd, 8:03 p.m. So they're on the same time zone. For me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they're on the same time zone as you. Yeah. They just call it Atlantic time zone instead of Eastern. Because they're like, well, we're technically, y'all don't count us as a state, so we're not going to count the time zone. We'll just be Atlantic.
Yeah. But yeah, like, it would be awesome to see something in Australia for sure. But man, it would be a total time shift for everybody involved. And I don't think everybody kind of wants to, either do calculations for time zone differences and all that kind of stuff. And then, just try to figure out when they can watch it, because holy shit, it would be a long time. And they would probably stat that shit to the gills. So it would be awesome. But if anything, UK, London, for WrestleMania would be a little bit better. And there's no other choice but Wembley Stadium, right? I mean, that's most likely where they would go.
They would have to.
Yeah.
WrestleMania in Wembley would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
WrestleMania Philadelphia.
I mean, that's really the only place where I can even think of, because I mean, we were in the O2, and now there's 18,000 fans here for the O2
Boy.
for this show. So
imagine
they would have to do
90,000
Wembley,
people
and
screaming that fucking loud like they did at the O2. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm honestly now that gets me
and
excited
just think,
for All
dude,
In.
AEW is doing close to 70.
Yeah, so I'm excited now. I'm really
And
excited
right
for
now,
All
dude,
In.
AEW is close to 70. Okay. So like it's awesome. And now I see some narratives going around saying that Cena was really only brought out there so that, you know, WWE can basically say that they're scared that AEW is doing Wembley before them. Listen, I'm not fucking about that shit, okay? I'm happy that AEW is doing something for Wembley. If WWE does something for Wembley for WrestleMania, I'm gonna be happy for them too. It's not always a fucking competition.
Yeah.
Let
Because if that was the case,
everything happen
AEW
the way
did
it's
that because
supposed
of
to
Clash of the Castle. If that was the case. AEW saw them do Clash of the Castle and
There you
said,
go.
"Oh, let me
See?
run Wembley then." That's how y'all sound right now.
See, see, that's exactly it. And you know, listen, if AEW doing Wembley and them almost getting 70,000 tickets is amazing in its own right, but the fact that you're just saying, "Oh yeah, John only came out there so that they can try to stick it to AEW so that they can get 90,000 instead of their 70," forget that narrative, man. This is fun. We're supposed to have fun here, and if WrestleMania was in Wembley, you'd probably want a chance to go. So just
Plus, even if that was the narrative, I don't give a fuck. If it gives me
No.
good wrestling, let them fucking compete.
It's
Like,
better
what are we
wrestling for
complaining about?
everybody
We're the
involved, and
winners.
competition breeds competition. And if everybody's gonna get involved in the competition and make better wrestling for us fans, who gives a fuck?
Exactly, because we don't lose. There's absolutely no way we can fucking
no way
lose.
to lose.
So why are y'all complaining?
There's no way to lose any. Lot says WCW is gonna do Wembley better anyway. Listen, I don't care. I love your WCW stuff, so it's awesome. It's awesome stuff. So
Hey, nobody's touching WCW's Wembley. Let's fucking go. All right.
Dude.
When it comes to WCW, everybody else in the mud, except for main event wrestling. We work tandem.
Listen, I can't wait to get my AEW Wembley show started for All In, man. It's gonna be awesome.
We're territorial. We three are territorial. MEW works with with PAEW and works with WCW.
There you go, man. I mean, it's awesome stuff. So,
because we know how to run companies, unlike some people.
WCW superstars are, you know, taking over AEW enough as it is, because we got two of those people within the Double or Nothing ladder match already. So it's awesome. But you know, this was awesome to see. The fans chant "wanker" at Grayson Waller.
Wanker.
And tells Cena not to stress. He could get him a spot on the show. And I'm like, oh, really now? You can get Cena on a WrestleMania in Australia. That would be awesome.
Because he desperately needs the help,
so well
as we know.
As of late. Right. So he says that things haven't been going well for Cena as of late, as he lost to Austin Theory at WrestleMania, and before that he lost to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, and before that he lost to The Fiend at WrestleMania. So we're like, oh yeah, you know, he hasn't. But listen, Grayson says that the fans only remember the last thing that they have seen, and this is a country that is supposed to have some class. Grayson says that he has to let him be Superman for one night, not John. And he says that Cena has done so much to let Grayson help Cena save his career. Like Cena really needs his career saving.
Yeah.
Grayson says that he can have Cena as a guest on the show at WrestleMania Australia. The Grayson Waller effect with special guest John Cena. The fans boo, of course. Cena says what he is hearing is no WrestleMania in London, and he would have to fly to Australia to get a rub from Grayson Waller.
Pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
He said that shit
I'm
so
gonna
fast.
pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. Yeah. He said, "Boy, ain't nobody rubbing shit. All right, I'm not about to get rubbed by nobody."
So Grayson then stops him, and without him even saying no, Cena says that he and his friends were trying to let the world know what a WrestleMania would be like in London, and then Grayson hits Cena from behind. Grayson then takes his shirt off and turns around, but Cena hits him with an attitude adjustment to end that segment. And it was awesome. It was awesome stuff. It was just awesome to see John Cena. It was awesome to see him get involved with Grayson Waller here. I heard that there was going to be a Grayson Waller segment on Money in the Bank, but I had no idea it was going to be something like this.
Right?
I mean, I heard the reports saying that there was going to be a Grayson Waller segment within Money in the Bank, and I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder what that's going to be, and it turned out to be Cena's return. Do we get Cena and Grayson at SummerSlam?
I think so, and if we do, a lot of y'all gonna be mad at me. I don't give a fuck. Cena should win it. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of seeing Cena lose. And you know, Bully Ray has said it before. You don't have to go over to get over. Give Cena a fucking W for once. God damn.
Now, the only way I'm kind of hesitant on this is because Grayson Waller has Edge on his Grayson Waller effect again this coming Friday on SmackDown.
Well, have him beat Edge. Edge has been having
Grayson.
wins a lot lately.
Yeah.
Edge was like,
a lot of people are saying it could be Edge versus Grayson at SummerSlam. I think so. But yeah, a lot of people are saying it could be Edge and Grayson at SummerSlam, and this Cena appearance was kind of just, just to do something with Waller and just get it done and over with, and so that Cena could say something about WrestleMania in London. I personally want to see the Grayson and Cena match a little bit more. I love Edge. I think Edge is great, but I don't know. I think Cena and Grayson would be the match I would want to see more. I'm still waiting for NXT Africa. That would be wild.
Oh yeah. Boy, Omos versus
but yeah,
the new guy. I forgot his name in the main event. Gonna go stupid.
Oh god. I know who you're talking
Oba
about.
Finley. Oba Finley.
Oba. Yes, Oba. Oh my god. But listen, whatever match they have for Grayson at not WrestleMania, at SummerSlam, it's gonna be awesome to see, and I can't wait to see what they do with him.
Fact.
Then we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match: Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bayley, IYO SKY, and Trish Stratus. Good stuff there. Very good women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Probably one of the best ladder matches for the women in quite some time. Obviously, the right winner came out on top in this. My top two in this Money in the Bank ladder match were IYO SKY and honestly Zoe Stark. I love Zelina. I think Zelina was probably the MVP in this match. But those are my top two choices in this thing because I really thought that they were going to, just give it to Zoe so that they can continue on the story between her, Becky, and Trish. But I don't know. IYO SKY winning though, easily the right choice.
Hands down. There could be the only other choice I'd accept is a Zelina.
Yeah. So So yeah, again, I can't go over everything in this match because this match is just so goddamn good. But IYO SKY won this thing. Fantastic here. IYO gets into the ring and throws one of the ladders to the outside. And we see IYO climbs the tall one of the tall ladders in the ring as she gets her hand on the briefcase. Bayley then pushes the ladder out of instinct and sees IYO falling down to the mat below. Bayley sets the ladder back up to climb it, and Bayley climbs the ladder, but Becky climbs the other side of it, and they begin to fight. Becky then places the handcuff, like a piece of the handcuff, in Bayley's mouth, and they were climbing down the ladder together. What's brutal? I like that. That was so wild to me to even think that was even a possibility for the match. IYO pulls Becky down, but Becky kicks IYO down as well. Bayley and Becky are on the ladder at this point, and IYO grabs the handcuffs and handcuffs Bayley and Becky together while they're in the ladder. They're on like opposite sides of the ladder, and IYO handcuffs their hands in the rungs of the ladders. That way they can't move. I thought that was so innovative and one of the best ladder match endings in quite some time because that was just an awesome spot to see. And then she climbed over Bayley to sit on top of the ladder and grab the briefcase. And that is how she won.
Yeah. As she should.
This was awesome. I mean, IYO SKY was easily everybody's favorite to win this Money in the Bank ladder match. A lot of people had Zelina. Some people even had Zoe. I even had some friends within, like, outside my circle of Wrestle Talk say that Trish could honestly win this thing because, you know, Vince is still looming around. I was hoping it wasn't Vince, this call to do this, but I'm glad IYO SKY got the win here.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't have been mad if Trish would have won. I would not have been mad.
I know some people that really wanted the Ben. Now, I want to say this, and I want to go back to the men's just real quick before we get into the World Heavyweight title match, because the World Heavyweight title match, it wasn't bad by any means, but let's be real, that was really to set the rift off between Damian and Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Damian, was this a compromise between Triple H and Vince? Because y'all know Vince wanted Logan Paul and Triple H wanted LA Knight. Did they come to some sort of like a compromise and say, hey, you know what? There's also some other superstar that has been white hot as of late, and they gave it to Damian Priest because of that reason? Or was Damian Priest the call all along in your mind?
Based on what Triple H said in the press conference, I think Damian was a call all along.
Okay.
I think it was a competition between Damian and Logan, but I think Damian was Triple H's pick all along.
Okay, so you think it was really Damian and Logan that were kind of like the battle between Triple H and Logan, and Triple H got his way.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not mad at that if that really is the case. I kind of just saw it as like a compromising type of a thing because I really thought Triple H really wanted it to be Logan, LA along with everybody else, and we all know Vince just loves Logan Paul to the goddamn death. So I thought it was going to be some sort of like power trouble there, and they just said, you know what, screw it, let's just compromise and give it to Damian. But I could see it, you know. LA Knight, like I said earlier, he's going to get his, and like Triple H said, good things come to those who wait, and we're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that payoff for LA Knight. Personally, if it was up to me, LA Knight the perfect person to take that title off of Austin Theory. Because God knows Austin Theory is not doing anything with it. So Austin Theory, LA Knight for SummerSlam, the United States title. Good stuff there. At least it's a title. You know, it's not the World Heavyweight title yet, or it's not a world title just yet, but at least it's something.
He'll be ready by Mania 40.
Yeah. Who knows? Like that's something right there. And at least, you know, at least we're getting the title off of Theory. I know some Theory fans might be a little upset at that, but you know, it is what it is. He hasn't done anything since John Cena. He hasn't done anything since John Cena. So let's be real there.
Yeah.
So this World Heavyweight title match between Seth and Finn. This wasn't bad by any means. This was like a 12-minute match, but like this was really to set the rift off between Finn Balor and Damian Priest, because we all know for some reason WWE is loving to just break up a stable when they're white hot, and
unless your name is the New Day.
That's what they're trying to do right now. That's what they're trying to do right now with the Judgment Day. I mean, Judgment Day is looking like it's going to be broken up, at least in some point down the line. I don't want it because I don't think we really have seen, you know, the peak of what these people can do. But Damian Priest was out here in this match, and they were teasing what Seth did at WrestleMania. Could he possibly be cashing in to do a triple threat, some sort of opportunity? Seth caught this in the back of his head, and he went to Damian Priest. He's like, you don't think I know what you're trying to do right now? Listen, stay out of the business.
He's like, I wrote the blueprint.
All right, we all know what you're trying to do, but just stay out of it real quick. Like, you don't think I know what you're trying to do? So fans chant cash it in at this point. And of course the UK fans are going to say that because they're the UK fans and they just want chaos. And
yeah,
I love it.
Cash it in. Cash it in.
So Seth with a super kick onto Finn Balor, and Finn falls to the outside. Seth rolls to the outside, and Priest is in his chair. Finn attacks Seth from behind, and he hits him with a coup de grace from the announce table and a coup de grace off the ring steps. Finn then gets Seth into the ring, and he hits him with a drop kick. Finn then climbs to the top rope. It was the missile drop kick into the corner, like he always does. And then he tries to do the coup de grace, but Priest stands up, and Finn gets distracted. So when he does the coup de grace, Seth moves out of the way. He hits him with a stomp, and that is how he wins 1, 2, 3. And Seth retains the title. A lot of people had Finn Balor winning this championship. I didn't. I had Seth retaining all along, but this was a really good way to make Seth Rollins retain.
I don't think he's dropping it until SummerSlam.
And this made the most sense. It made the most sense to do it in this way, and causing the rift between Finn and Damian now was the right call. Now, who's the one out of Judgment Day? Who's out? Because you know what's happening.
I feel like it's got to be Finn. That's why they're teasing JD so hard.
You think it's Finn? I honestly think it's Damian, because I don't understand the reasoning why they would have Finn out of Judgment Day when JD McDonough, who is the protege of Finn Balor, I thought you would want to have them together in the group.
Well, yes, I can see it from two different sides.
Him with his protege.
I can see it from two different ways. One way of thinking is every faction has to have a powerhouse of sorts. New Day has Big E. The Shield had Roman. Bloodline had Roman / Solo. Judgment Day has Damian. They also have to have that technical specialist who doubles as a high flyer, which is Finn, which would also be JD. But I also I feel like
Yeah.
Damian might be getting ready to go on a monster singles run soon. But I see a secret third one. What if they swerve us all and Dominik is gone?
If Dominik is gone, that would be very interesting because let's face it, Dominik's heel heat is all because of the Judgment Day. What will Dominik be like outside the Judgment Day, and will the heat be enough to sustain him outside the Judgment Day, and will he be able to handle his own career without the people that he's been involved with? That's the only questions that I'm having to ask when it comes to that. Because let's face it, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley have groomed this kid to being what he is today. There's no doubt about that. I mean, come on now. They have helped him tremendously. Will he be able to do it on his own? That's really up to WWE to decide. And who says if he is alone? I mean, what's stopping them from trying to get him back into the good graces with Ray? And then we're back to square one. I wouldn't want to be back to square one. It's just a very interesting scenario there, but we'll see. I just don't want anybody to break away from the group. If anything, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have anybody break away.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen the peak of this group yet. We haven't. We're just getting to the peak. Rhea is Women's World Champion. Damian is Mr. Money in the Bank. Finn was almost World Champion. And Dominik really should have beat Cody, but I mean, dude, if everybody got their respective wins during that moment, Judgment Day would have been the biggest group in WWE at that point. And I'll even say that because the Bloodline's basically done.
Yes.
So, I mean, they would have been the biggest group in WWE. It's interesting, man. It's very interesting. But Seth retained the title. No harm, no foul there at the end of the day, but I had Seth winning regardless. A lot of people had Finn, but I had Seth for sure. And then here's our main event.
Yes.
It's our main event. Well, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they had an interview with Kayla in one of the press boxes, and Sami Zayn basically said in a nutshell that Roman Reigns is going to get what is coming to him. And then we got to the main event, and this was like a good 30-minute plus tag team masterpiece. Now, again, with this match being so complex and so, I'd go over everything, but I want to be able to do it justice. If you guys were not able to see this match, what are you doing? Go back and watch this shit. Because
Go fucking watch it.
Was cinema. It was cinema, bro. There's no other way to go about it. Everything about this was great. Down to Paul Heyman's involvement in this. Roman Reigns, just being legitimately pissed off that he was in England. Solo. Awesome stuff
Being
there.
Solo.
The Usos getting the job done. also like everything about it was top notch.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman, during the middle portion of this match, when Roman had to go take a breather on the outside, when Paul Heyman said, "Listen, you want to know what he's trying to do? He is trying to make your kids sit at his table."
Boy,
That's his mission. That's what
when
he's
he
trying
said
to do.
that,
Dude, that switch in Roman completely switched. Like it completely
fuck the
flipped.
switch in Roman. It switched in me. I imagined myself as Roman. I said, nah.
No,
I was like, I
no,
can only imagine how Roman's feeling. Ain't no man about to make my kid sit at his table. Nah.
but I'm telling you right now, the Roman Reigns of old would not be able to switch on a dime like that. Not at all. Not at
No.
all. This Roman, regardless of however you feel about him, from suffering succotash to this moment right here, completely different Roman Reigns. Completely
Within
different.
like 5 minutes, the man went from, "Wise man, why are we in England? I hate England," to, "I gotta fucking murder him. He's not gonna make my child sit at his table. I'm gonna fucking kill him." Like, run! Run!
And Roman Reigns is a believable enough guy to where you can legitimately just see him sitting on the sidelines saying, "Why the fuck are we even out here, bro? Why are we here? Why are these fans doing the things that they are doing?" Like, dude, he is so believable in doing that. And then all of a sudden, he just flips the switch and he's just a mafia boss. That is what I basically know him as now. He is mafia boss Roman Reigns.
Mm.
But dude, this just so good. And then so I'm gonna go up until the point where the Usos are climbing to the opposite sides of the ring to go for a double Uso splash. Solo trips Jimmy up on the top rope, and Jay jumps, and Solo catches him, and him and Roman grab Jimmy, and they do a double Uranagi.
That shit looks
Again,
so cold.
Michael Cole said rock bottom. Wade Barrett says Uranagi. Michael Cole said rock bottom. Listen, if you're going to do the match, you gotta do it now. Otherwise, Rock's gonna be like 65 and he's not gonna be able to do this anymore. If you're teasing the match so much with the rock bottom calls for the Uranagi, are they doing it, man? Are they going to do it, or are they just doing it just to, tease us more at this point? I don't know. Wow, that was awesome.
Wow.
But
to answer your question, at this point, man, fuck that bald asshole. I'm just trying to watch his daughter with her fine ass.
like, oh, okay, fair enough. But like, there's a reason why Michael Cole keeps calling it the rock bottom when it's a Uranagi, man. Like, dude, if you're going to do it, you gotta do it soon. Because he's not going to be able to do this forever. The Rock probably doesn't even want to do it, though, now. Because the only time he would probably want to do it is WrestleMania, and he's not going to be able to do it this much longer. So either stop calling it the rock bottom. Well, no, just stop calling it the rock bottom. It's Uranagi.
Yeah. That's about all you can do. Just call it what it is.
So, Solo hit a Samoan spike on Jimmy. He lifts Jay up, and Roman runs the ropes, and they do a spear Samoan spike combo.
I need it. I need it in the fucking game.
They need to do it in the game. They need to do it in the game. The fact that Roman Reigns says that he's not in a tag team, yet they have a tag team finisher for Solo and Roman, and that should definitely be their their tag team finisher. Bro, I need that in the game. And I know LA Knight was basically the motion capture guy for like the last few WWE games. But Roman and Solo need to, just go to the studio one day, put on that. I know it's an awful looking suit. I know it is. Motion capture suits, they're big, they're ugly, they got all like these,
Yeah.
bubble looking things on your body. I understand it looks goddamn ugly. But they got to do the motion for that finisher because nobody does the Samoan Spike like Solo, and nobody does the spear like Roman Reigns, especially now within the confines of WWE. So you gotta have him at least do the motion capture for that. But this has to be in the game, and that's awesome that they even have that kind of a finisher go down. So he goes for the cover after that, and the Usos kick out, and they are on their feet at that point. So Roman and Solo are in disbelief at that point that both Usos kicked out of that spot. And we see Solo back into the ring, and he looks at Roman, and Solo with right hands onto Jey, a headbutt onto Jimmy, and Solo kicks Jimmy to the outside and slams him into the ring steps. Solo then clears the announce table, and Solo does a super kick to Jimmy to lay him out on the table. Solo climbs onto the barricade, and he does a splash. Well, he tries to do a splash to Jimmy, but Jimmy moves out of the way, and he goes falling through the announce table. The table collapses underneath him, and he goes through the table. That's Solo Sikoa. And Roman with a Superman punch to Jey. Jey with a super kick. Roman does, he rebounds off the ropes and hit a spear. Superman punch into super kick, and then all of a sudden a spear. He goes for the cover, and Jey kicks out. And then the fans are chanting, Usos, Usos, Usos. Bro, insane. Insane stuff right here. And I'm like, dude, when is this gonna end? I look at the clock, and I'm like, damn, when are we doing this? Jey with a low blow during the kickout. And we all know that Roman has done that in the past. Whenever he's kicked out of some people's finishers or whatever, he does a low blow.
Oh, it's two of me's. I think George came in and started messing with shit.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He went right onto the goddamn keyboard. Go, George.
Come on, George.
George
George,
said, I
not
want to
again.
talk
Come
to
on,
people.
buddy. You gotta.
Come on, George. In your bed.
You can also hear probably
Hey,
grandmother
Mama, we met.
on the mic too.
Yeah. Mama, we met making the audio
No, you're fine.
appearance.
They're still going to hear you, but it's okay.
Tell her we said hi. Tell her we adopted you
but,
into our community.
Yes. Everybody is saying hi to Grandma we met right now. And she says hi back. So
Yeah.
So yes, this was
And I'll be out of here.
so yeah, the match is great, bro. That's all I have to say.
Okay. You know what's that? You going out tonight?
You know what else was really cool? My TikTok video about it afterwards. I told y'all Jey was gonna be the one to do it, but y'all didn't believe me. Y'all said, no, Jay's not gonna pin Roman. That's done with. He's 0-2 against Roman in singles matches. When it comes to tag team shit, Jay been about it. Jay been the day one-ish. Jay been the tribal chief when it comes to this tag team shit. Oos. And he showed Roman. He showed Joe. That's right. He said, Joe, this is my ring when it comes to tag team shit. Take this motherfucking bitch Uso splash.
Yeah. So So yeah, I'm glad you got into that. So Jay with a low blow and the referee didn't see it. The low blow thing, dude, I loved it whenever that happened. Like
Because it's a
the low
callback
blow
too.
was awesome. So
That's how Roman did Jay in their
it's a
first Night of
callback to
Champions
basically
match.
every other thing. Yes. So so Jimmy is tagged in and they hit him with a double super kick. Roman again sells a double super kick like fucking death. Fucking death. And I love it. Love it every time. Solo on the ring apron and he gets hit with the double super kick. They hit Roman with another double super kick. Jay tags in. The Uso splash happens from the top rope and he goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. And that's right. I said 3. And Jay pins Roman Reigns for the first time in 3.5 years. Hello, like, dude, what? Insane, just insane stuff. The crowd is going crazy. I was going crazy in my bedroom, dude. This is the first time in 3.5 years that this has happened.
It's a monumental thing. This is like, it's like watching the. No, I'm not gonna compare it to that. People gonna get mad, but we'll say it's kind of like when
Okay.
Hogan slammed Andre.
Here's what
there
I
we
can
go.
say about this. Here's what I can say about this. The first time ever Roman Reigns was pinned was by Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
The first time Roman Reigns has been pinned in 3.5 years was Jey Uso.
Who was it, Phil? One more time.
So,
who was it?
Was Jey motherfucking Uso.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, so happy days, oh happy days. So at the end of the day, now Johnny, I know you're probably going to be watching this after or whatever, and I know you're a big Jimmy Uso fan, but TJ, who's the real tribal chief?
Jay motherfucking Uso. Joshua Fatu. Yeah.
Jay motherfucking Uso, baby. And this is awesome. Now, this has a lot of potential for things to come at SummerSlam. Do we get Jay and Roman again? Do we get a possible triple threat? Do we see, Solo coming to his senses? And we possibly somehow see a fatal 4-way at SummerSlam. What do you think is really going to be happening at SummerSlam, man? Because at the end of the day, Solo will be joining his brothers. It's just going to be a little bit longer. How do we do this?
If we
What do we
got
do?
a fatal 4-way at SummerSlam, I'm sorry. I'm hiding one of y'all's fucking luggage baggages, bro. Cause what the fuck, boy, Rikishi gonna be crying his ass off, bro. Because bro, that make it a 3-on-1 handicap match.
A 3-on-1 handicap match for the undisputed Universal Championship, dude. Like
somehow, some way, Roman stacks all 3 of these niggas and pins them. I'd be like, what the
of them and pins them.
man?
I'd be like, dude.
What's going on?
I'd be like, all right, fine. Fuck it. Cody, listen, I know you don't even have money in the bank, but get out
because he's beating their asses with a chair. That is the only way I will accept him somehow stacking all 3 of them, as if he was literally murdering them with chairs the whole match. If you told me he just speared each of them and stacked them, if one of y'all don't do a little twitch to set off a chain reaction of movement, bro, kick out.
Listen, I know Cody doesn't even have money in the bank, but at that point, if he's just pinned and speared everybody. I'm like, listen, Cody, I know you don't even have money in the bank, but get your ass out here. You gotta take care of this man.
I
You gotta
like
take
this,
care of this man.
bro. We got to pull a Hobbs and Shaw. Have them fight on the island of Samoa.
It all starts back at the living room, dude.
Have them fight in Peter Maiavia's house, bro.
I legitimately just saw a TikTok before we as I was setting this all up. I was on TikTok, and I'll send you the TikTok because I was thank God I thank God I liked it and favorited it before it went away. It was an interview with the Usos with Ariel Helwani, and he asked them, has there ever been a pitch so that the Usos would be able to face each other? Not just, split up and they just go on their own separate ways, but an actual rivalry between Jimmy and Jey Uso. And Jimmy's like, listen, there's been no pitch, but we talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time because at the end of the day, it would be like it all started back in the living room type shit because this is what we were meant to do. And at the end of the day, I would want my entire family involved. I would want our dad involved. I would want our cousins involved. I would want our younger brother Solo involved. Like I would want everybody in this family involved in that type of stuff. And I'd want it to end at WrestleMania because that's the ultimate goal, to have a match with my brother at WrestleMania.
Imagine that announcement from Samantha.
Dude.
Bro. The following is the NOYE Lumberjack match. Boy. With special guest referee, The Rock.
Like, dude. I would love to see it. I would totally love to see it. And like he said it too, like I would want a special guest referee. I would want people around like ringside or at least just in the front row for this because at the end of the day it's WrestleMania and it all started back in the living room type shit. So, dude, I would love to see it. I would love to see everything go down. And who knows? Maybe it could happen.
Yeah.
Maybe it could happen. But
exactly.
What's your thoughts on SummerSlam, bro? What are we most likely going to get at SummerSlam? Do you think it's just going to be Jey and Roman again?
Yeah, Jey, Roman 3.
Or some sort of everybody else involved? Because Jey, Roman 3? Okay. Yeah. I mean, it makes the most sense considering he was the one to pin Roman. But, I mean, everybody else... I mean, hell, Jimmy could possibly be in the corner of Jey. I mean, and then Solo would be in Roman. On Roman's corner, I should say. I know, boo me if you want. Because I said Solo in Roman's. But I said, you guys know I meant corner. And then whatever happens there, we could possibly see Solo turn on Roman at that point. And then that way we have all three brothers against Roman, and that way Roman doesn't have a tribe anymore. He's just all by himself with Heyman. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff could go down, bro. And I think that's what really makes this the greatest story within WWE's history. And I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not. This is the greatest story within WWE's history. So, you guys don't have to like it, but this is the greatest storyline within WWE's history. So, it was what it was. This was awesome stuff. And Money in the Bank, easily, out of 10, I'd give it a 9.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 9. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Mainly because the 1 point decrease is probably because of the Cody Dom match. Nothing against Cody or Dom, but that kind of just brought it down a little bit. And And I would say, honestly, to me, the women's tag team title match, it wasn't bad, but the Shayna Turn just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So,
well,
but still, 9 out of 10 show. That's fantastic, and I think that's probably it's going to be one of the best pay-per-views that WWE has this year.
Yeah.
And I will be going back to watch this multiple times. Mainly the main event, but definitely the Money in the Bank ladder matches and the main event, I'm totally going back to see.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So yeah. We got a lot of stuff heading into SummerSlam, guys. We got a possible Drew McIntyre Goldberg. Jesus fuck. Drew McIntyre Gunther. Not Goldberg, not Finn Balor. It's Gunther.
I was about to say, Drew already packed his old ass up.
Goldberg's going to show up in AEW. He's going to show up in Wembley. I'm telling you right now. I don't want it, but he probably will.
Yeah.
We're possibly getting Gunther and Drew McIntyre. We're possibly getting Cena and
Grayson Waller.
We're going to see United States title possibly between LA Knight and Austin Theory.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens with the Bloodline situation, dude, there's a ton of stuff. This SummerSlam is going to be one of the most anticipated in quite some time.
Facts. I'm so ready for it.
So guys, that's it. Did I mess things up by having you guys do the GCP podcast a little bit later than expected?
Oh no, I just pushed it back, but they were roasting your ass in a chat, in a group chat.
I really don't care, and honestly, I don't want to get that chat enough anyway. So you know what? Fuck you guys. Roast me all the fuck you want. We were gonna be talking about this show.
Yeah. But yeah, all y'all in the chat, make sure you tune into the Geek Culture Podcast. It starts immediately once this live stream ends.
Immediately after this. It's probably going to be at 9 p.m. my time, but it's probably 10 p.m. No, wait. No. You're behind me.
Yes,
right?
I'm behind you.
So you're fine. So you're fine. It's 7 o'clock. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, quite literally, as soon as you hit, as soon as you do the outro and hit in broadcast, it's gonna be like maybe a 30-second switch off, because I literally have it up on my phone ready to hit the little loading screen, the little standby. So literally, as soon as this ends, y'all can head over to Main Event Players on YouTube, and it will be on right there.
Yeah.
Kind of like some Rick Rude type shit.
So listen, I am going to roast the fuck out of these people in the Twitter chat when I'm out of here. But listen, we're gonna be talking about this show. Was it a little bit over the time that I kind of budgeted so that you guys can do the podcast? Sure, but dude, I was not going to not miss any details when it comes to these matches, because these matches are fantastic. You can't just gloss over details like this. So, we appreciate you guys for being in the chat here. We appreciate you guys for wanting to talk Money in the Bank with us. I didn't even really do like our intros and everything like that, like socials and sponsors and everything like that. But thank you guys so much for all the love and support. All the links for everything is down there, for like WWE Shop affiliate link, our sponsor with SeatGeek. Use the code OTB at checkout for $20 off your first purchase. Follow us on social media. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at @FluentMount_. TJ's at TJ Gatsby, basically everywhere. So thank you guys for all the love and support. We'll see you tomorrow for the Monday Night Raw post show. And yeah, thank you guys. They'll see you over at the GCP podcast, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Peace out.